Hi everyone, I'm Shell and welcome to our first agent building session here at SmythOS. If you're new to our Discord server or you just recently discovered SmythOS, I highly recommend that you watch our SmythOS 101 tutorial videos posted on our YouTube channel. So for today's pilot episode, we're going to build an AI agent that can convert YouTube videos into SEO content. Okay, so SEO content that you can easily publish to your blogs. All right. Okay, let's start. So, I have here a blank agent canvas, as you can see. Before we start building our agent, let me walk you through some of the components that we will be using. First is we're gonna need an API endpoint. Okay. Again, if you're new to our server or just recently discovered SmythOS, you'll learn more about our components, everything in the builder in our SmythOS 101 video tutorials. So please watch them. Okay, so you'll need an API endpoint. We're also gonna use the call API component because we will be using later an API call. All right. Then we will be using the LLM prompt component as well. Okay. Then we will also this is optional. We will also use an image generator. Of course, if you want to generate images for your content. Okay. So alright, we now have our components. I want us to first secure our credentials for the API call component. Okay, so for this agent, we will need to use a API from Rapid API. Okay, first, this is not a sponsored video, but if you're looking for APIs to use in your agents or projects, Rapid API here has a bunch of APIs that you can use. All right, the first thing that you need to do is create an account on Rapid API. In here, it would look like this. Just follow the instruction when you subscribe, and then after that you should be able to get your own dashboard and it would look something like this. Okay, you need to get your application key, so you can access that by going to apps here. Okay, let's wait for a while it's loading. And then under My Apps here, you will see a default application here. So after you sign up, Rapid API will automatically create a default application for you containing your application key. Now, just click the drop-down arrow, then go to authorization, and you should be able to get access to your application key or API key in here. So as you can see, again, Rapid API creates this authorization key when you create your account. So you can also create a different one. It's up to you. But for this demo, I'm just gonna copy this API key. Alright, because we're gonna use that later. Okay, now after you create your API key, let's go back to the dashboard or to the home page. Alright, then go to discovery. Alright, then we're gonna search for the API provider called YouTube captions and transcripts. Okay. So there are three API providers under this for this search. We will select the first one, YouTube captions and transcripts. As you can see, it has the best score here. You should look at the score to identify the best API for your project. Okay, so just click the link. You will be redirected. Okay, so yeah, so you will be redirected to that app. What you need to do after that is subscribe to a basic plan. You just have to click subscribe to test. Okay, and then click on the basic plan. Okay, you don't necessarily need to subscribe upfront. So as you can see, the basic plan already offers 100 API calls per month. So I think that's a good starting point if you're exploring. So we can subscribe to this plan. Okay, then just subscribe. Okay. Alright, and then I'll just skip this. And there you go. Right, I'm gonna remove this API key later on for security, but yeah, that's how it looks like. You need this rapid API key. Now going back to the agent. Okay, so let's configure this API call component. There is one endpoint here called get captions and transcripts. So what this endpoint does is it scrapes the YouTube video for transcripts and captions. Alright, now just go to the you can go here actually. So you can see if you're using Postman, you can run this on Postman like this, but if you're not, you can just copy this. Okay, so you can go to your all component here, paste it here. So as you can see, we do have several API parameters, URL parameters here. So you have the video ID, the language, and the format. So this API key allows users to get the content or the transcript or caption in either JSON or text. I think there are other options supported here, but we're just gonna go with text. Let me just go to the overview. Yeah, so these are the supported outputs. So JSON, text, or CSV. So I'm just gonna go with text for this one, and I'm gonna replace this with text. Okay, then video ID, we need to replace this. They should be dynamic. Okay, and this is something that the user should be able to enter into there or provide the agent. So I'm just gonna leave this blank for now, and then I'm gonna capture this later on the endpoint. But in here, I'm gonna add a video ID parameter. Alright, and then going back here, I'm gonna replace this with the video ID variable. Okay, so what happens is that the video ID that will be supplied to this API call component via the inputs query parameter here or variable will be passed to the URL in here in place of the variable. Alright, now after this, we're gonna configure the header. We're gonna go here. So for the header, we need to include this one, the host. So I'm gonna add it here. Then I'm just gonna copy the URL here, and then I can see another one. So this is for the API key. Alright, now I'm gonna copy this, alright, and paste it here. Now you can save this key if you're planning to use your Rapid API in your projects. You don't have to change it. So the good thing with Rapid API, if you're new to it, is that you can subscribe to multiple API providers without changing your Rapid API key. So it automatically gets bound to your Rapid API key, alright, the subscription. So you don't have to change this. This will remain the same for your account. Okay. Then I'm gonna add it here. You can save it into your vault like this. Just highlight the key and then click the key icon like what I did, and then I'm gonna name this as Rapid API. Alright, now I'm gonna save this. So let's make sure that there are no leading spaces. Okay, we're good. I'm gonna save this. Okay. Now we don't have to set up the content type or the body because we're doing a get method here. So we're just basically fetching data, alright, using this API call component. Okay. Now we can test this by let's go to YouTube. Alright, and then so one of the, I'm gonna close this, we don't need it anymore. So one of the requirements here to run this API call component is to supply the video ID. So the video ID is found. So let's say I'm gonna search for an, okay, let's say, okay, let's look for, okay, let's try this one.
If you're a web designer, here's,
okay, I'm just gonna pause this. Okay, so this is the video ID. So you go to the videos, the YouTube videos URL, and then it's the code or series of string here, or this string here, right after the equal sign. Alright, so this, for this V, this is like the V parameter. So it's this value. So I'm gonna copy this and then just enable debug. Click this bug icon. I'm gonna enter my video ID here. Okay, and now when you go to response, you will see that the transcript from that video has been extracted. Alright, now we will use this text to create the SEO content. Okay, so we now confirm that this is working, so we can stop debug. Alright, now after this, we're gonna set up the API endpoint. Okay, so this API endpoint, let's call it create content. Okay, and then I'm gonna say that this creates SEO content from extracted YouTube actions or transcripts. Then return the output as is. So I'm just gonna say return the output as is for the agent later, alright, for the chat embodiment. So I'm gonna save this. Okay, now I'm gonna add a parameter input. So this is where the user, this is the data, this is where the input data from the user or from the external source will be captured, alright, for processing. So I'm gonna add here, I'm gonna use video ID as well. Okay, now I'm gonna create a, we only need the value of the ID. So we're gonna create a custom output here. Body that video ID. So we're gonna map the input data from the body to this custom output. So that's why we need to pre-append the body and then add the video ID. Okay, and then I'm gonna connect this with this API call component. So if we're gonna try this, alright, we're gonna go back to the video here. Okay, so for testing purposes, and so I won't have to enter it several times, we can use the agent variables here to store that information. Alright, so I'm just gonna put it here and save it. Alright, and then I'm gonna stop this. And then I'm gonna edit and add that variable as a default value. So I don't have to copy and paste it all the time. Okay, now just to test this API endpoint and make sure that it's passing the value to the API call component, again, I'm gonna enable debug, click debug icon here, just disable it and then click next. Okay, so as you can see, the value gets mapped to this custom output, but if you look at the body, you'll see that the JSON, that the key value pair is in here, video ID with the string input, and then it gets, we extracted the input string or the input value and map it to this custom output. Okay, all right, now we have this running. Okay, what's the first thing that I want to do? I want it to extract the keyword. I want to analyze the transcript. Okay, before that, oh yeah, we're good. So I want to analyze the transcript and extract the primary keyword from it. Okay, so I'm gonna create this LLM or I'm gonna add this LLM prompt here. I'm gonna call this keyword analysis. Okay, say this LLM prompt analyzes the transcript and extract the primary and related key phrases. Alright, let's say key phrases instead of keywords. Then I'm gonna rename this input parameter to transcript, just for consistency, and so we know what data gets passed to this LLM prompt. Alright, and then I'm gonna connect this to this LLM prompt. Now we need to configure the prompt and this LLM prompt. Yeah. So first we need to select a model. Okay. So for this demo or for this agent, I'm gonna use GPT-4 Turbo latest. And then I'm gonna set the maximum output tokens to 4,000. Alright, again, to unlock all the GPT models, you need to bring your own API key, okay? And yeah, we've explained it in our previous SmythOS 101 video. It's there, and you should be able to watch how to do it. Now, I have selected the model. Now, I need to add here a prompt, okay? So, I'm gonna provide this LLM prompt component with instructions. So, I'm gonna say instructions. Number 1, I wanted to analyze the transcript and extract the primary key phrase and 5 of the related key phrases to it from the data. Okay, and then so I'm saying data because let's try this again. Just gonna run this so I can show you. So I'm telling the LLM prompt model to extract the information from this key pair value. So as you can see, the transcript data, or yeah, the entire transcript is being passed through this key property, which is called data. So I'm just telling the LLM model to extract the key phrases from this key pair value. Alright, and just ignore the rest. Okay, then number 2, I'm gonna tell it in what format I want the output to be. So I'm gonna say the output must be a JSON object with no extra text. Okay, follow the format below. Okay, so then I'm gonna add here an example of the output that I want. So it should be a JSON object. I'm gonna add here a primary key phrase property, and then in the value, for the value, I'm gonna say add here the key phrase. Alright, or let's say primary key phrase. Okay, and then if you're again not familiar with JSON, we made an entire learning session about JSON filter and JSON. We touch base on JSON there, so I suggest that you watch that one to familiarize yourself with JSON objects. And then for this one, I'm gonna say, okay, for this one, I'm gonna create an array instead because I want 5 related keywords. So I'm gonna say key phrase 1. So I'm just gonna copy this and then add it here. 2, 3, 4, and then 5. Okay, so now I have here an array of related key phrases, and then I'm gonna close my JSON object with a curly bracket. Alright, so now I have this, and now I need to tell the prompt where to get the transcript from or the data from. So I'm gonna add here this transcript, and then the variable. So in the first instruction, I'm basically telling the LLM prompt model to analyze the transcript, and then this transcript is equivalent to this transcript variable. So later, when we run this transcript variable will be replaced again by the input data that we have here. Okay. Now I'm gonna save this. Okay. Now I'm gonna copy this content, and then I'm just gonna save this here. Again, if you're testing, this would really help you streamline the process when you're adding this data in your agent variable storage. So I have this here. I'm just gonna try to run this. Okay, so as you can see, okay, it extracted the primary key phrase, pre-mortem, then the related key phrases, perspective, hindsight, stress, decision making, cortisol, rational thinking. Okay, so this is working. So I'm gonna stop debugging this. Now the next thing that I want to do is, okay, first I want to create a custom output here just to make sure that, yeah, because later we will only need the value and not the entire JSON object. So I'm gonna, no, it should be reply that primary key phrase. So we're gonna map it here, and then we're gonna add the related key phrases here, and then the body. Okay, then I'm gonna save, I think this is key phrases. I'm gonna save this. I'm gonna try to run debug again just to make sure that we're mapping the input data correctly. Okay, all right. Okay, we're good. All right, I'm gonna stop this. So the next thing is to add another LLM prompt for identifying the topics. Okay, so we want this agent to be able to identify the key topics from that YouTube video, because we would need that later on to generate the content. So again, I'm gonna select a model here, then I'm gonna click advanced, and then set this to 4000. Okay, just gonna, okay, all right. So first is I'm gonna provide this instruction. The first one is to analyze the YouTube video transcript and identify, let's say, just two key highlights or topics. Okay, then let's say I'm gonna tell it in what format I want this video, this output to be. So I'm just gonna copy this so I won't have to retype, and just, no, I'm gonna copy this entire thing here. Okay, and then I think I should print this entire thing. All right. Okay, the output, okay, I'm gonna, must be a JSON object with no extra text. Follow the format below. So I'm gonna do it like this. Okay, so this one is the topics. All right, then I'm gonna create an array. Okay, and then in here I'm gonna do topic, And then I'm gonna save this, and then okay, and then after this, no, I think we could just simplify this, not an array. Let's just do, we just need 2 topics. I'm gonna say topic 1. Alright, then I'm gonna copy this whole thing here, and then do topic 2 here. Again, if you when you start building this agent, you can adjust this, alright, based on your, again, requirements. So transcript, we have the transcript. We just need to replace this with transcript. Okay, so we have here the variable. Alright, okay, we're cool. And then I'm gonna create a custom body here. This one is for topic 1. Okay, and then in here I'm gonna say topic 2, and then advanced. Okay, right now let's just do a quick run if this prompt will work. Okay, we got the topics. Alright, this is working. We're good. Okay, then I'm gonna, let's rename this to topic identifier. Alright, then I'm gonna save this. Oops. And then I'm gonna stop. Okay, then what I'm gonna do, so I'm gonna connect this to the transcript, because this one also uses the transcript input. Alright, so now you have your 3 components there. Now we need to create the components for writing introductions. Okay, so I already have pre-built components here. I'm just gonna copy them over to save time. I'm gonna show you what the prompt looks like. Okay, so I have here an LLM prompt that will write introduction for the SEO content. Alright, so if you open this one, these are the instructions. Alright, it's a bit long, but we want to be as specific as possible. Alright, then the output should be a title, then the introduction. So I'm also asking it to write the title, okay, for the content and the introduction. Now I'm gonna connect this here, and then in here, and then for the topics, I'm gonna connect this. So now it will also use the topics here, you know, for context. Alright. Okay. Then after this, we're gonna use, or we're gonna add 2 more LLM prompts. I have already again created one earlier, just to make sure that we can cover everything. I'm gonna stop this. Okay, I'm not sure why. Okay, so I have here one for the first section, the first topic. So here's the prompt. I'll give you guys, I'll share the prompt with you guys later, so you can just tweak it. Alright, so again, the output should be in this format. I want it in an article underscore section 1 key property. Then I'm gonna connect this with the transcript. Okay, and then I'm gonna connect the first topic here, and then the primary key phrase that we get here, and then the related keywords or key phrases. Alright, so what I'm gonna do next is just copy the same, because it will be the same LLM prompt. So these are basically the same, just rename the name and description so we can differentiate which one's for the article section 2 and then which one's for the article. Okay, I'm gonna do the same for this one. I'm gonna connect this to the transcript, topic, then the primary key phrase, and the related key phrase. So, okay, so now I have one for the introduction and then for the article section. Now, I want to add one more for the conclusion. Okay, so we're gonna do one for conclusion. Let me just copy the component that I built earlier. Okay, I'm gonna copy this. I'm gonna add it here. Okay, so I'm gonna add this in here. So the conclusion is different from these three LLM prompt, as this requires inputs, the actual articles written by this LLM prompts here, components here, to be added here as reference. Okay, so it will not rely on the actual transcript to draw the conclusion. It will draw the conclusion from these articles, the ones that we already generated. I'm gonna connect it here, and then just to make sure that it is optimized for the same keywords and related keywords, we're gonna connect it in here. Okay, so now it's taking shape. Can you see it now? Alright, now you might wanna add some image generator. This is purely optional. Okay, so I'm just gonna keep this configurations as is, but you do have options. You can configure this based on your needs. Again, I'm gonna keep the prompt as is. I don't want the image generator. I don't want DALL-E to interpret my prompt and then create another prompt out of it. I'm just gonna keep it as is. So what we're gonna do here is I'm gonna use the hang on. This one is not, where is this connected? Let me delete that. It should be connected here. So when you're building an agent, you need to make sure that the inputs are properly connected with the previous components outputs. Okay, so for this one, I'm gonna use the actual articles as prompts. Alright, so I'm gonna do 2. Okay, so let's just go back here real quick. Alright, so you can optimize this. You can change this word. Alright, number of words based on your needs again. Okay, and now I'm gonna add the final, I'm gonna add here a final LLM prompt that will capture everything and combine the article into one. Okay, so let me just copy the component that I already created earlier. Okay, so just give me a moment. Okay, I have it here. Gonna put it here. Alright, so this is how it looks like. So you can see I have here a lot of input parameters. This will allow me to capture all the information or all the content that I generated here into this single LLM prompt. So in here, I'm using an echo. Alright, so I'm just gonna edit this one out to not include the other variables here because they are not in here. So we're just gonna remove them, then remove this. Oops. Bricks. Okay. Alright, so introduction image. Oops, I think I need to include the conclusion here. Okay, yeah. Okay, now I just have to connect this with everything that I have here. So I have here the conclusion. Gonna add it here. And then I'm gonna add the, oops, sorry. I'm gonna connect the title from the introduction to this LLM prompt. Then the keyword. So I need the primary key phrase here. And then the related key phrase in here. So I'm gonna zoom. Okay, so you can see. And then I'm gonna connect the introduction and then the article sections. Okay, so I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. And then image generator in here and then in here. So now we have this. Okay, let's just try to let's just try to run this from here and just see how it looks like, what the final output would look like. Okay, and then I'm just gonna run this entire workflow. Okay, now it's generating the introduction, the article section. So let's see. Okay, we have this here. We have the topics. Okay, it's writing the content, introduction, and the 2 article sections. You can adjust this later based again on your needs. You can add more article sections. Just copy and paste everything here. It depends, of course, on the transcript and how long the video is. For short videos, I don't think you need a lot of sections. Now we're generating the images and we're writing the conclusion based on the articles that we got here. So let me just zoom. Okay, so we have here the article. As you can see, I've asked it to provide this in with proper HTML tags in preparation for posting to WordPress. So we will be covering that. We will be creating a WordPress generator or publisher agent on Friday, so make sure to stay tuned. So we have everything here. Okay. Okay. Anyway, I'm not. Yeah, for some reason this is showing us not, but we do have the. Okay, now I'm gonna check this one. Okay, now you have the content. Okay, so let me just tweak this a bit. I'm gonna copy this first because I want to see it later. Okay, I think okay, I'm gonna edit this and remove the default value. for now. Okay. Okay, now let's try running it from the chat embodiment, but first we need to add the behavior or a separate instruction. Okay, so for the chat embodiment, so I'm gonna add here instructions. One, I'm gonna say that, okay, I already have one provided here or created here earlier, so I'm just gonna copy and paste it here and just walk you through it. So the first instruction is for the agent to always ask for the user for a YouTube video ID. I provided here an example so the agent could guide the user where to find the ID. Then I told the agent not to proceed with the video ID if it's not provided, and that it should politely decline to answer any questions because its goal is to just extract the transcript and generate the content using the create content endpoint, and then return the output as is. Okay, so I'm just gonna save this. Okay, and then I'm gonna enable debug here. I'm gonna click the chat embodiment. Okay, I'm gonna copy the video ID here. Okay, I'm just gonna refresh this again just to make sure. And then, okay, create content using this video will be from YouTube. Okay, so as you can see, it's making a function call. Alright, so it's calling this API endpoint. We're gonna click next step. Okay, so the data, the ID, as you can see, has been passed to the API call component. And alright, it was a successful API call with the transcript and everything successfully extracted. Then we have here the other components being triggered. So I'm just gonna run this flow uninterrupted and just see what it's gonna look like. Now we're generating the content. Okay, we're now generating the images and then the conclusion. Okay, and now, okay. Okay, this is the picture. Okay, there you go. Can you see that? Let's expand this a bit. Okay. I'm gonna expand this a bit so everyone can see. Okay, and now you managed to create, we were able to create content. So here's the title. Okay, did you know that? Okay, so that's just, yeah. So that's your content, complete with the title, the introduction, the image, okay, then the sections. So you have here an H2 with I think this is an H3, explaining what is a pre-mortem. Then again, remember our primary keyword is pre-mortem. I'm gonna, okay, so it's pre-mortem. Okay, then let's take a look at the sections. So okay, so the importance of systemized. So as you can see, it's in here. It's the same content. Okay, and then why systemized organization helps. That's the other topic under that. Then you have your conclusion. All right. So yeah, that's your agent. We were able to extract the content from YouTube and then generate this really good content, SEO content. Okay, and yeah, we will make this agent template available in our templates libraries. Just go here. You will see the template for this agent. All right. So I hope you learned something from this. If you have questions, let us know. Just drop them in our Discord server, and we will be more than happy to answer them. Okay. See you in our next agent building sessions. Have a great day.